Muthead.com. Welcome back to episode 11 of ZAN's Corner. Today's video, we are going to talk about the changes between the offensive line and defensive line interactions brought forth by the most recent title update a few weeks ago. So that was a major question. So that is going to be our mailbag for today. It's just going to be this video. I can't tell you how many people asked me what changes there were along the offensive line. Hey, ZAN, does the Fat Five concept still work? Can we get away with bronze linemen? What's the most important thing you're looking for right now after the most recent title update? So what we're going to talk about is, again, we're talking in theories. We're talking about things that I feel, having played the game after the most recent title update and having noticed a lot of this in draft champions as well as salary cap mode. So I'm just going to kind of tell you what I'm feeling. Some of you guys may feel differently. Feel free to share your experiences below in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Also, be sure to drop any questions you have for next week's video. I'll open up the mailbag next week with some of our best questions. So the reason you see a blank offensive line is kind of it's basically because I am recrafting how my offensive line should work. Now, before we get into how the line works now, I do want to shine some light on somebody in the community who has put some really, really nice work in, and that would be DC Punk 74. You guys need to check out this post, the Fat Five and Tenacious P. Basically, what DC Punk has done is he's gone in and combined some of my Fat Five theory stuff along with some other theories in the game about trucking and being kind of a smash mouth football team. And he's put together a really nice formula algorithm, I guess, a spreadsheet along with 84 of the top names, 86 of the top names rather, in the game for continuing to run a Fat Five theory. So if you guys are interested in some of this breakdown analysis, DC Punk has done a great job. Make sure you check out the Fat Five and Tenacious P article that he wrote in the Mutt discussion subforum. So definitely check that out. Now, what I'm about to show you is somebody in the community who's one of the better competitive Madden players. He's over on the PS4 side, known as Jay himself. And Jay himself is a heavy runner of the football. Now, this is what Jay's line is looking like after the most recent title update. As you can see, he's got secure protector Whitworth on the right tackle position, and he's got secure protector Munoz on the left tackle position. For those of you who don't know what that means, it basically means with that SP ability is that you're not going to get insta-shedded. Insta-sheds are going to be a lot more prevalent right now in the game after the most recent title update. And I'm going to tell you why and how to counter them. But what I want you to pay attention to is his interior line. He's got Matthews, who's got the identifier. He's got Eric Wood. He's got Will Shields. So as you can see, he's keeping a heavy line, and he's got some chemistries that are going to allow him to run his offense a little bit better. But the most important thing to note is that he's running a gold and elite offensive line. That is a huge, huge difference from what we were experiencing last year, or I'm sorry, last patch before this most recent title update. So what we see now with this most recent title update is not that the Fat Five theory doesn't work. It's that they basically kind of put in some safeguards to make sure that lesser talented linemen are not doing a great job with holding up some of the more elite players. You're going to feel the elite players much better now, despite the whole Fat Five theory. So it's not that you're not going to get an initial push with some of these linemen off of the ball. It's more so that you're going to struggle to hold those blocks versus a really elite block shed, a really elite player. So what we're doing right here is I'm looking at left tackles. So in the past, I would just go with the lowest cap guy possible. So you recognize this name, Antoine McLean, right? He's a big guy. He's like 335 pounds. And I was just basically using him to push guys off of the ball. And what he would do is he would push guys and then get block shedded, fairly quickly because his run block rating was only a 76. Well, the issue was that I could push a guy off the ball 2, 3, 4 yards, and then that was fine if he got block shedded because I'm already hitting the linebacker tier by the time he was block shedding, even if he had 95 block shed versus 76 run block. What this most recent title update has done, according to some of the videos I've watched and listened to Clint Oldenburg on Twitter, and just seeing a lot of the players in the community playing, is basically what they've done is they've magnified the run blocking comparison. It's not that weight and strength don't matter for both of the players. It's more so that if the delta, and delta means difference in, if the delta in the run block shed comparison is at a certain point, that it's going to basically show its head. Now, basically, we don't know what that delta boundary is. My guess is it's probably between 15 and 20. I have no clue. But what we're seeing is that shift, like I told you, back towards the gold linemen and the elite linemen that are fat, to make sure that the delta is within range that you're not going to get destroyed by overly great defensive linemen and outside linebackers. So, you know, we're still getting away with putting a lesser talented offensive line in terms of overall on the field. You see that he's got Whitworth at 86, Shields 81, Wood is a 76, 85, and 86 on the left side. You know, we're still going up against these 90 to 95 overall defensive players, but we're basically improving our baseline play of our offensive line to make sure that the delta is within range so we do not get destroyed. The Fat 5 theory, in my opinion, still applies. You just have to make sure to get your run block rating up to a certain point where it's not going to be a huge issue for you. Now, like I said, if the delta is huge between the block shed and the run block rating of the two players, you're just going to see quick dominance. You're not going to get away with blocking bronze 345, 350 pound players and thinking you're going to get a push. That block shed kicks in so much more quickly. Now, as a result, you don't have to run super fat players. You can run really talented run blockers that are still heavy, like Will Shields, like Matthews, that 85 Matthews. Eric Wood even has a good enough run blocking rating, where now these players on defense, say with a 92 block shed, whereas in the past where they were going up against somebody who maybe had 75 run block, now if they're going up against somebody who has 80, 81 run block, that difference is such that the instant block sheds are not going to kick in. Now, if you want to take it one step further, you see that Jay himself is rocking secure protectors at both left tackle and right tackle. So what he's doing is he's ensuring that in the pass game, they're not going to get instant block sheds either, because those SP chems limit block shed ability in the pass rush for the defensive linemen. So they're not going to get to the quarterback for at least 2.5, 3 seconds with those SP protectors in a one-on-one scenario. So that, in a nutshell, is how the game is playing right now after the most recent title update. I know I haven't shown you a lot of gameplay in this, and that's because I've been having some issues with my microphone and my recording software. I just had to go get that fixed today. So for the next week's video, I'm going to show you a difference between the bronze players and the gold players. And you're going to notice that you can give up a little bit of weight going from a bronze fat guy to a more talented, you know, gold or elite player. And you're actually going to see a pretty good boost in, or a better hold on the run blocks. But when you go to a fat gold or a fat elite, you're going to see production that you never ever saw with your fat bronze players. You're actually going to maul the offensive line. So that is our plan for the next week, is to show you guys that going forward. This video is more so my thoughts and feelings, since I had so many people asking me what I was seeing with the most recent title update. I hope this video was helpful. Again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, drop those below, as well as your questions for next week's ZAN's Corner. I appreciate the continued support, guys. We will see you guys next Tuesday with ZC12. Until then, this is ZAN. Get in the lab, and good luck.